Hi folks, Jonathan Lee here, CEO and founder of Perfect SME, the company that created and owns this remarkable new tool called ImplementERP.ai. Today we're going to go over how quick and easy it is to create a new project. Okay. So you just click the new project button that's at the corner of the My Projects landing page. From there, there's a very quick, very short survey. You enter a project name, ERP project name. You select a start date, a target due date. You select a project manager. And this is important. You pick what it is that the system you're evaluating or implementing uses as a label on its screens. So for Infor, they use form. For NetSuite, they use page. For some other companies, they call the screens pane. Doesn't matter. So we'll pick page for now. We'll hit create. Okay, and from here, you need to select the processes that are impacted by your ERP project. So that would be very different for a major implementation. You might have 15 or 20 different processes here. For an optimization, say you have a system and it's generally okay and you just want to make it better, you might target 1 or 3 or 5 processes. Either way, it doesn't matter. What you do is you collect the Add New Process button. You have two options: import from a process library or create your own. We're going to seek to not reinvent a wheel, and so we'll pick design to refine. The engineering process, we'll pick order to cash, and then the extended order to cash process called quote to cash, because it also involves a quoting process as opposed to straight order taking. So we'll just pick those three for now. Click add here at the bottom. 3 processes were imported, and here you go. Now, let's say you are in an industry that has a really unique process and it's not in the process library. No problem. You go back and click add new process again. Okay, you're not going to click this one that says import from process library. You'll create the one that says create my own process. Okay, and I'll call it super unique process. Okay, I'll add it. Then it gets added to the bottom of the list. I'm going to add some sub-processes, right? Because sub-processes are super key. So call this sub 1, tab add. Okay. Sub 2, tab add. Sub 3, tab add. Okay. And I think you get the picture. Okay. So let's quickly go over how this process mapping works. Okay. Let's pick the order to cash one. Now, what's going to happen here is you need to validate that this is in fact the name, the mantra, moniker you guys use within your own company, because some companies have a different name. Bottom line, this is the one where you take an order, you complete the order, you ultimately invoice and get paid for the order, etc. Okay. So in our standard library model, it's create an order, schedule the order, produce the order, ship and fulfill, and invoice for it. Now, you may very well have different names or different steps. You may want to make a change here. It's up to you. But also, just like I showed you for the super unique process, you can add some extra steps. Okay. We'll call this journal entry. Okay. Some people might want to include it. And that gets added automatically to the end. Now you can actually move it to earlier on, but I'm not going to here because obviously the journal entry would come after the invoice is paid. Okay. Now, why is this so important? You'll see. And we're going to ignore this manual way of mapping the system to process. Okay, I'm going to go back to that processes form. Now here's why it's important. You're going to be mapping, whether it's your existing system that you're optimizing or a new system that you're implementing, you're going to be listing, okay, with correlation, of course, the names of the forms, the pages, the screens that you need to work well in order for this creating order subprocess to have no issues. So since this system uses the word page for screens instead of screen or form or something like that, I'm going to click the plus. I'm going to say customer order. Okay. I'm going to add an owner, although you don't have to. I'm going to do a finish date of July 6th as a placeholder due date. So basically this is saying there is a screen in my system, again, whether it's my existing system or what I'm implementing, called custom order. If that screen is not set up well to support the creating order subprocess, that means that the creating order subprocess is not ready, which means the order to cash process is not ready. You may want to rewind on that part of the video and watch it again. So what deems this form, and let's add another one, just so you see that you can, and very likely will have many screens and forms for each of these subprocesses. So customer order is a screen that has to be absolutely ready to support the subprocess. The item screen has to be ready to support this. And in this example, let's just say there are those two. When these two screens in the system are validated and tested and everything's working great, we can say that the create order subprocess is ready to go. Okay. And that means one of the subprocesses within the order to cash mega process or large process is done. So on and so forth. This might have 4 different screens you need to get ready. This might have 2 or 3, but that's how the mapping of the system to the subprocess, with the subprocess being it's a component of the overall process. That's how this readiness is gauged. Okay. I'll show you 2 more quick things. Number 1, what it is that you're using as a template to evaluate that screen in your system. And so it talks about even having the opportunity to describe what it is that that screen does. You can attach diagrams or work instructions or scripts, integrations, if you have workflow, security, and if you need changes, like you need new fields or you need to change labels on fields, what have you, you mark those here, okay? Scripts, dependencies, so how it relates or works with other screens in the system. And then if you have something here, if you've added some required enhancements, later this is where you denote that the design is done for those changes you need, the enhancements you need. They've been built, they've been tested, and then in the end, you have to make sure that all of your users that need to know this form are trained, and that there's a conference pilot test, which means that this form is tested alongside many others in the overall process. And then that's how this page tracker on the customer order form is deemed ready, okay? And then when it's ready, when you sign off on it, this will show a green complete box. And so you're looking for all of these that are going to be here to have the indicator that that form is complete, and that's how you know your process is ready. So I mentioned that there'd be 2 things that I would show. The other one is this piece right here, okay? Oh, excuse me. The dashboard. And so this one, obviously, we created a new project, so this one doesn't show anything because we haven't built anything out. But what happens is those processes you've selected as part of the ERP project, meaning those processes that are affected by this, these will have a bar. And the bars indicate how much work there is to do and how much of it is done, which denotes how ready you are to declare that quote to cash process is ready, to declare that order to cash process ready. to declare that design to refine engineering process as ready. Okay, so for more videos to come, please check us out at ImplementERP.ai. Again, this is Jonathan Lee. Thank you for your time.